Blog Talk Radio.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's showtime!
Hi, I'm Sonic Fanatic from Aurora Shock Media, and you're listening to WGS Radio.
WGS Radio.
The best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever.
Are you ready to get your game up? Because it's now time for Game Up on WGS Radio.
More fun than sport cocaine with a plate of cookies. WGS Radio is on the air. How's everybody doing? Double B Crow. Coming in. Oh, I'm hearing an echo. Anybody hearing an echo? Or is it just me? Wow, what a way to start off Game Up. But before we get started, I have a couple of programming notes here, because we got an exciting week coming up next week on the WGS Radio Network. Coming up on the Wednesday program, for Wrestle Down, the discussion of wrestling now, we have coming on the show former AWA and WCW announcer Lee Marshall. Yes, the master of the Road Report from WCW will be on Wrestle Down, the discussion of wrestling now, this coming Wednesday, September 21st. Be sure you guys tune in for that. So, with that being said, I'm hearing a lot of echoes. I don't know why. But with that being said, I'm going to I got a round of introductions first. Ladies and gentlemen, the king of NASCAR is in attendance. It is Jordan. Jordan, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. I'm making my NASCAR picks right now.
And ladies and gentlemen, joining us from Aurora Shock Media, it is the one, the only blue dude himself. It is Sonic Fanatic. Sonic, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Billy. How about yourself?
I'm doing just fine. What's up with you guys from Aurora Shock Media? We haven't heard from you guys in the longest time.
Yes, I know. Actually, we've been doing our own thing as of late. I believe it's Ren is still working on his... No, actually, he finished his Let's Play on Back to the Future, the game. I am currently in the process of working on Sonic 3 and Knuckles Let's Play. Check that out on our YouTube channel. And I'm also thinking about working on all the previous Sonic games leading up to November 1st, which is when Sonic Generations is going to be released. And I am getting that day of release, so I'm pretty excited for that. But as far as everybody else goes, I haven't heard too much from them.
Well, I do have a hands-on demo from earlier in July when Sonic Generations was out, only for 20 days, but out for a demo, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm expecting good things from the Sonic Generations game.
I got that demo too, and I have to say it was pretty impressive. I actually held a Sonic party on my, I think I mentioned this before, I don't know if you were on Game Up when I mentioned it, but I held a Sonic party on Sonic's 20th birthday for my anime club, and I brought the demo in for people to try out, and they were pretty pleased with it.
Wow. Well, guys and gals, in the next 60 minutes, we're going to be doing nothing but talking game news, expressing our opinions. And speaking of gaming news, we have some update for Batman Arkham City. You know, the producers, Rocksteady, have already provided more rogue gallery of Batman Arkham City than you can shake a batarang at, is from what I'm being told. But they still aren't done yet. Today, the studio took on Deadshot. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Deadshot, the self-proclaimed world's greatest assassin in the Batman world, will be on Arkham City. He'll be one of the side missions that will show off a lot of the skills for Batman, as the Dark Knight has to track him down and figure out the motivations behind his targets. Game Trailers TV actually showed a first look at Deadshot, and he actually sat down and talked with the game director, Sefton Hill. He says, quote, "One of the mysteries that Batman is trying to solve is, what is Deadshot doing in there? He's finding these murder scenes and trying to figure out, what is Deadshot doing? What is his MO? What is he after?" As you're playing through the game, you start to figure out the targets that he's after. Deadshot realizes that Batman is after him, so Batman gets added to the list as well. Hill also goes on to say that the side missions like Deadshot's help them explore other parts of Batman's character. Quote, "One of the nice things with the side missions is they let us focus on different aspects of Batman's character. So Deadshot focuses more on the forensic element and tracking down, doing that in a slightly more detailed way than we might do on the main story, on the main path." Now, there are 12 side missions in the Batman game, and this will be one of them. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the Deadshot character, he has been with the Batman franchise since 1950 as a villainous counterweight to Batman's own distaste for guns. He has an utter disregard for human life and will always carry out a hit as long as he gets paid. He sometimes served as an anti-hero as part of what they call the Suicide Squad, but in this incarnation, he appears to be much more on the villain side. Now, Sonic, just from hearing all this information, they're taking Batman Arkham City to a whole nother level than they did with Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Jordan, what's your reaction to this?
I like it a lot.
Well, I can tell you what, I am a huge Batman fan. Many people don't know that, but when I played Arkham Asylum, I absolutely loved it. I played it from start to finish. Now, my only regret is Arkham Asylum, as great as the story was, as great as the gameplay was, the thing that was lacking about it, Sonic, was the fact that there was no replay value to the game.
I can't really say my opinion on Arkham Asylum, but because I haven't played it. Although my brother does own it, so maybe I will give it a try.
Yes, give it a try, because like I said, once you start playing it, you will get hooked. I got hooked on the story. It's a great story, but from playing it from start to finish, my only regret about Arkham Asylum is the low replay value. Once you're done with the story, there's really nothing else to do on the game. I'm hoping with the upcoming release of Arkham City, which is next month, guys and gals, and just to clarify something for everybody, including Rev Jake Flair, if he's listening to it, when I get the game, no, I will not be wearing the Batman suit. So, just wanted to clarify with that. The Tokyo Game Show started this previous week, and in fact, it was like 2 days ago we had the start of the Tokyo Game Show. Now, I'm going to read off some of the information that I do have. I'm looking at, they did show a lot more about PlayStation Vita. I am very interested in the PlayStation Vita. It looks like a phenomenal thing. Over at Tokyo Game Show, they had a remote play with the Vita was shown. They also had a demo of Killzone 3. That's all on there. And they're also going to have a custom level of Little Big Planet 2. And that's pretty much all the information that I have. To be honest with you, I thought I would have more information on the Tokyo Game Show than that. Kind of shows you how hampered I am without Ashley to back me up with other stories. You know what I mean? But you know what? I have more Batman Arkham City information. The Arkham City is going to have a Catwoman DLC. Let me go on to reveal this information. Now, there's going to be a Catwoman walkthrough, and you're also going to have there's 4 different episodes. They're going to actually have it as episodes, 4 of them where you're going to play as Catwoman. And my only response to that is meow. I'm pretty sure Jordan's scared already. Well, the information was leaked at the San Diego Comic-Con. That was, I think, about just a month ago, and it was leaked by Batman voice Kevin Conroy. He leaked the projects at the San Diego Comic-Con. Now, Kevin Conroy, ever since he became the voice of Batman, like in Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe and in the series, he's really just becoming an iconic voice for Batman. Whenever you hear the name Kevin Conroy, you instantly think that's the guy that played the voice of Batman in the games and in the series. So, if it's coming from such a reliable source as Kevin Conroy, hint, hint, then Sonic, I just can't wait to see how they're going to play it out. Now, we just got through talking about replay value, and I think, with the addition of more Catwoman episodes, as currently they're calling it, this is kind of increasing the replay value, even though the game isn't out on the market yet.
I would agree.
I see you here. Now, you guys are going to have to, again, bear with me here because, again, I am very limited on stories and what to talk about, just because, the big thing that did happen this week was the release of Dead Island, and the game just looks absolutely phenomenal. Sonic, what have you heard or seen anything of Dead Island?
I've seen all of the commercials that they've advertised on TV, and it looks pretty amazing. It looks like it could surpass Left 4 Dead.
Well, we have some information here for Ratchet & Clank All for One. It's going to be getting a limited beta test in preparation for the October 18th launch. The codes are currently going out right now to people who attended the Insomniac Community Day or won a contest. If you're not in on the beta yet, Insomniac will be giving out more codes through their Facebook and Twitter. Amazon will send codes to those who pre-ordered the game before September 27th, so there is still time out there to get again on the beta. Now, according to the information I have, the details of the beta were released in the PlayStation blog. It includes the opening level of Luminopolis and the Verticus Cliffs. The first is an introductory stage, but the cliffs let you use the weapon wheel to select a wide variety of the series' signature weapons, along with the new ones like the Frost Cannon, Plasma Bomb Launcher, and Warmonger. God damn it, after the show's over, I'm pulling out my Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction game, and I'm getting on it. I don't know why, and now I'm just, totally interested in getting on that game. You can also try out each of the characters' special ability and play as Ratchet, Clank, Quark, or Dr. Nefarious. Now, if you want to try out this game but you can't make it into the beta, there will be another opportunity soon. According to Insomniac, they're planning on an official demo for October. So there are lots of chances for people out there to get in on the beta for Ratchet & Clank All for One. And Sonic, I mean, when it comes to video game testing, how important is it for this beta for Ratchet & Clank All for One to be a successful beta?
Well, to be honest, I can't really give you my opinion on the series because I haven't played Ratchet & Clank, but as far as a beta goes, I think it's, a perfect opportunity to see, what else needs to be done, and if you get it out to the fans, you could get their initial input before, the final release.
Exactly. Because I do remember there was a beta for another game. Ashley was just talking with me about this just yesterday, and if I'm getting the story accurate, a certain video game franchise released a beta or a demo at... By the way, if you guys are wondering where the Studley Man actually is this week, he is at Game Pass in the UK, and I thoroughly hate him for that because he's getting to do that way ahead before me. So, with that being said, Sonic Fanatic, can you comment a little bit about the upcoming Sonic game here at the Sonic Generations after I take a quick phone call?
Yes, sure. Give me 1 second. Let me bring it up. Okay, well, apparently with the upcoming Sonic's 20th anniversary, which was on June 23rd. Sega wanted to go back to its roots and release a game with Sonic's classic gameplay, but they also wanted to include the newer gameplay that had been released with Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Colors. So they, quote-unquote, gave you the best of both worlds. And no, I don't like Hannah Montana, but no, they give you both the classic and the modern gameplay. All the stages are former stages of past Sonic games, including Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant, City Escape, and among others, as well as some of the bosses. They include Metal Sonic, and they include Silver the Hedgehog, which is pretty pathetic because I hated Sonic Next Gen. And I'm also going to have to be jealous of Ashley because Sonic Generations Collector's Edition has so much stuff that that the regular game won't have, but unfortunately it's only being released in the UK, so I'm very upset about that. But the demo was released on Sonic's birthday, but it was only available for 20 days, which I played, and I understand Billy's played too. Yep. And it was pretty impressive. So I'm psyched for the game to come out.
You know what I thoroughly liked about the demo when because for one thing, you're only allowed to play one stage, but what I loved about it is the classic feel that you had on playing the game. They really kept it really well. And when I say that, I mean, think about the background music. They had the original background music for the Green Hill Zone playing on that demo, and I really liked that.
They did, and they didn't just have, the regular music. They added some stuff to the music, but they actually kept the original track involved, and I actually have that on my iPod right now, that track, which it's pretty catchy. It takes the original theme and, bumps it up a notch.
Yes, it does. Well, ladies and gentlemen, over the past weekend, the Labor Day weekend, I apologize, Activision held their Call of Duty XP event, and if you went to it, one, I hate you. Without even knowing you, I hate you for going to that because I did not get the opportunity to go. But according to Activision, it was very, very successful on all fronts. In fact, the publisher claims that enough people watched proceedings online to make it the second most watched event via live stream in history. Now, live stream only been on for, I don't know, a year or two. So that's really saying something, I guess. Anyway, at the event, Activision unveiled, get this, guys, a premium version of the Call of Duty Elite social service. You heard me right. A social service running at $49.99 a year. That's $49.99 for those of you who want to be technical about it. And I wasn't saying $4,999. Nobody in their right freaking mind would pay that for a social service. Anyway, and also the attendees. Now, here's another reason for me to hate the people that went there. Every person that was there got a chance to play in some facet or in some form Modern Warfare 3. And just saying that statement makes me loathe the people that got to go. According to Activision publishing boss Eric Hirschberg, he says, we had some pretty amazing metrics. Livestream, the company that broadcast the event for us, indicated that it's the second most viewed event in history. And the first being the royal wedding, and I think the third was the President Obama speech. Wow, that really puts it in a wonderful category anyway. So it was a remarkable statistic. Activision claims that the numbers, which the company did not provide for verification, also show those viewing the event online were interested enough to watch for quite a while. The quote, the average viewing time of the keynote speech was 30 minutes, and that kind of deep engagement, that's very hard to get with a TV commercial or paid media, according to Hirschberg. Now, while Activision is still investigating more facets of the event's effectiveness and reach, the Hirschberg also mentioned that the Call of Duty XP was, quote, a global trending topic on Twitter during the event's first day. Although we didn't know the exact head count for the event, he also estimated that somewhere in the ballpark of 8,500 people attended the Call of Duty XP event in person. Holy crap, that's a lot of people. Though the Call of Duty... Go ahead.
That is a lot of people.
Yeah, although the Call of Duty XP was the first event of its type held by Activision, it's also quite reasonable to assume that their enthusiasm about its reception could very well lead to other such promotional events in the future. And I, for one, Sonic, would be very open to, further events. Now, not for them to be all the way in San Diego, California, or Los Angeles, California, considering I'm a fat Cajun who lives check to paycheck here in Louisiana.
I would go to it again if it was traveling, because I don't live in California. I'm all the way up in Pennsylvania, so if it was a traveling event, maybe, but not if it requires you to go all the way across the country.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a new announcement of another game from Team Ninja. They're really not showing any signs of slowing down, especially for 2012, because in 2012 it was revealed at the Tokyo Game Show by Team Ninja's Yosuke Hayashi, if I'm saying that correct, that they're going to be releasing Dead or Alive 5. Dead or Alive 5 in 2012. Now, according to Yosuke Hayashi, the concept is to no longer just be a fighting game. So the goal for Dead or Alive 5 is to be fighting entertainment. Fighting entertainment? What does he mean by that? What do you think, Sonic?
Well, let me first say this. Dead or Alive is my favorite fighting series. And, I really don't know what to say about it. I mean, Dead or Alive revolves all around fighting and fan service. But if they take it in a whole different direction, it could spell disaster, because when you deviate from what you've been doing in a series for so long, it gets mixed reactions. So who knows what this could do to the series? I mean, look what happened to Sonic when it made some changes in its series. It started to go downhill.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those fans of you who are fans of Fallout New Vegas, what's wrong with you? Why do you like Fallout New Vegas? I hate the game. It's absolutely terrible. But if you are a fan of it, well, I got some information for you right here. According to I can't even pronounce it. Well, let me say this: Obsidian Entertainment. That I can say. The other, the Softworks, I can't understand. But anyway, they have another download, another DLC trailer that has just been released for Fallout New Vegas. It's their 4th add-on pack. It's called Lonesome Road. It is due out in 3 days. The DLC is due on September 20th, and it'll be for $9.99 on the PlayStation Network, and for PC and Xbox Live, 800 Microsoft points. Why they put it as PC, I don't know. And on September 27th, you can round out the collection with the Gunrunner's Arsenal Pack, which will be $3.99. And the 4 pre-order packs will be $1.99 each. Why people like Fallout or anything from Fallout, I'll never know. Because, to be honest with you guys, I tried Fallout 3, and I tried to like the game. I tried very hard, because I heard a lot of great stuff about the game. A lot of good things about Fallout 3. Now, the opening sequences of the game were enjoyable. It was quite entertaining. It gave you a lot to do. But as soon as you leave what's called, if I can remember it correctly, it was a little sanctum that you had at the beginning of the game. And you're just walking in the desert, and you're just walking and walking and walking, and that's all you're doing. I'm sitting on my fat ass for 30 minutes just walking on Fallout 3, not doing a single damn thing. they need to do something to better implement the transportation issues in a video game. I can't believe I'm talking about transportation issues in a video game. But anyway, maybe if they would have had like vehicles ready, or maybe a vehicle to quote, confiscate, or something of that nature for you to travel in, then maybe it wouldn't be an issue for me. But the fact is, the only thing you're allowed to do in that game is walk. And Sonic, after a certain amount of time, the game just gets to a point where I just wanted to take. Now, keep it in mind, it was a rented game, so I couldn't do it. But I had the urge to suddenly crack the game, set it on fire, and then smash it with a hammer.
Rage.
Very much so, man. Very much so. Have you ever had that kind of a feeling for a game you played?
All the time. Actually, some of the games I've been playing, mostly sports games, when I start losing, I just rage quit. So, and at some point, I fear I'm going to snap one of these games in half, which I don't want to do, but, it's mostly the sports games that get me.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, and I'm going to talk about it more because it's almost time for us to have our commercial break for the show. But it's very odd that you say that because, you get this thing of rage quitting, not just in sports game. I'm talking from personal experience. People need to learn to play the game better, to be better sports when it comes to games like that. I mean, we all want to win on a competitive games. We all do. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to have more to say on this subject when we come back from break. So let's go ahead and guys and gals, so we're going to have more. I'm going to talk more about this rage quitting subject when we come back. You're listening to Game Up on WGS Radio.
This is the Master, Chris Masters, and you are listening to WGS Radio on Blog Talk. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Sonic Fanatic from Aurora Shock Media. What's Aurora Shock Media, you ask? Aurora Shock Media is a group of 6 people whose purpose is to give you quality entertainment in the latest and greatest video games, movies, music videos, and programs. We also provide awesome vlogs and crazy stunts. And because there's 6 of us, we're always coming out with something new. For more information about Aurora Shock Media, go to aurorashockmedia.weebly.com. That's aurorashockmedia.weebly.com. And while you're there, check out some of our cool videos.
Aurora Shock Media. It has begun.
Hi there, I'm Chris Rogers from Rockin' Waves 11294, reminding you to listen to my show every Friday from 1 to 5 p.m. on www.blogtv.com/people/Chris-Master-1. Again, that's blogtv.com/people/Chris-Master-1 every Friday from 1 to 5. Rockin' Waves 11294, and you're listening to WGS Radio on Blog Talk Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hottest place on the internet for wrestling and video games is, of course, WGS Radio. We got it all. News, reviews, interviews with some of the biggest stars in wrestling today, and yes, even, oh my God, the leader of Team Gooch himself, McDirty7. That's every Wednesday and Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. And of course, for pay-per-views, 2 hours before every pay-per-view for wrestling. www.blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio. We'll see you there.
Come listen Tuesday nights to the hottest new show on WGS, No Holds Barred. Join Andy, Nathan, and our own Iron Reverend Jake Slayer as they pull no punches and look into the rumors and news that you want to talk about. That's No Holds Barred, Tuesday nights here on WGS Radio.
Welcome back to Game Up here on WGS Radio. I'm Double B Billy Bujo, and I can officially confirm without a shadow of a doubt, 95% probably, that Jordan is rash-free. Now, back to the topic at hand, before we went to commercial break, we were talking about, you brought it up, Sonotic, about sometimes when you get frustrated that you rage quit. And like I said, it's not just in competitive, well, it's a lot in competitive games. It just isn't in sports games. I can tell you from personal experience, seen it on Call of Duty Black Ops, I've seen it on Homefront, I've seen it on Modern Warfare 2, World at War, when people get frustrated to the point and they just rage quit because they don't like being owned. Now, to be honest with you, I've done it a couple of times myself, considering the fact that, the other team is like probably a professional league team, and I'm like 2-32 is my KD ratio on Call of Duty, and I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. And it is just no fun to play a game when you're losing, right, Sonic? I mean, that's why a lot of reasons why you rage quit in your sports game. It's just not fun to get owned 100% on the game you're playing.
Well, yeah, but when you lose, it helps you learn more and helps you get better at the game. And even like I said, I rage quit a lot, but in the long run, it's going to make you a better player.
Jordan, any comments on this subject?
Yeah, even I get angry that I can't get past the level, and then I hear other people whining and complaining about the game, about the people on the game.
Well, speaking of gaming, and if you're a fan of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and the Capcom has released new information that this game is coming to the PlayStation Vita when it launches. Now, the handheld is set for a December 17th launch in Japan. However, there are no North American or European release information has been revealed. Despite a large segment of the gaming market is unaware of when they will get the game in hand, Capcom has already released the first strings of the portable version of the Ultimate title. Now, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is set to arrive on the consoles on November 15th. Now, Sonic, just from hearing that, Capcom is teasing everybody.
Yeah, it appears they are.
I mean, I have Marvel vs. Capcom 3 myself, and I love it. I think it's a great game. It's a game that, you have to be a fan of fighting games. And, Sonic, I know that you're a fan of fighting games, and you said Dead or Alive is one of your favorite fighting genres, of video games. But what are your thoughts about the Marvel vs. Capcom series?
Now, to be honest, I haven't played it, but I have seen it in person at my anime club at my school, and it looks pretty interesting. It looks like something I could probably get interested in.
Well, speaking of the PlayStation Vita, Sony has revealed a new system specs sheet for the device. And according to this spec sheet, you will be able to get 3 to 5 hours of gameplay time out of the PlayStation Vita. For comparison purposes, think about this, guys. All right, the PSP Go, you know, the little smaller version of the PSP. You know what I'm talking about, guys? The PSP Go. It had a quoted battery life of 3 to 6 hours of game time, and Nintendo's 3DS also had a quoted battery life of 3 to 5 hours. Now, this spec sheet comes from Sony Japan via the IGN network. Great network, by the way, on YouTube, the IGN. Be sure you guys check them out. You know, this is not a free plug. I'm not with IGN. I'm just personally stating a fact of my opinion. Whenever IGN has something on YouTube that I'm interested in, I'm going to watch it. But anyway, according to this one, they also revealed that the snazzy new handheld has enough battery life for 5 hours of playing video or about 9 hours of playing audio. The 2200 mAh lithium-ion battery will take 2 hours and 40 minutes to charge. The Vita, again, is set to launch in Japan on December 17th, but isn't due in North America and Europe until early next year. Now, the price ranges on this one, again, we said it so many times on here. The basic Wi-Fi only model costs $249.99. But the flashy 3G enabled version will be $299. Sonic, to you, first off, what are your thoughts on the prices of the PlayStation Vita? And if you had the opportunity to pick up one, if somebody came up to you and gave you $300, which one would you rather go with, the Wi-Fi or the 3G enabled?
Well, to be honest, I don't think any portable game system is worth more than $200. I mean, in my opinion, that is ridiculous. Of course, I'm speaking in terms of I come from where my latest handheld system is the Game Boy Advance, but maybe I'm hearing that go. I'm starting to hear it too, but I honestly don't know my input on this.
Well, Jordan, what are your thoughts about this one? If someone walked up to you and gave you $300 and said that you have a choice of a PlayStation Vita, the 3G enabled one or the Wi-Fi only one, which one would you pick and why?
Probably the Wi-Fi to make it maybe better.
The Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
I might go with the 3G one myself, even though it's a tad more expensive. Here's the reason why. If it's 3G enabled, you can basically take it, and if you have a game that requires a lot of online gameplay, you know, like I think Killzone 3 is coming off the PlayStation Vita, and they got the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 coming out with that one. You can take that anywhere. It doesn't have to be a Wi-Fi hotspot. You can take it anywhere and have online gameplay. You can go to the park and have online gameplay. You know, it doesn't have to be on your phone. You can go on. You can probably go to the crapper in a public restroom. I'm not saying do that because you probably catch an STD from the toilet. Anyway. But anyway, you know, you can probably go there and while you're taking a dump, if you're taking a dump in a public restroom, be careful. And secondly, you can do online gameplay from that. Although contract probably an STD and possible low lethal doses of radiation from the public toilet. Anyway, the big thing coming up next week, guys, the big release, September 20th, the release of Gears of War 3. Sonic Fanatic, I bet you well, a lot of your gaming friends, if they're an Xbox fan, they have got to be stoked for the upcoming release of Gears of War 3.
Well, I wouldn't know because I haven't talked to them in about a week, but I'm sure if they have if they have a 360, this is one game they've already pre-ordered.
However, unfortunately, guys and gals, yours truly, I am one who is not anticipating this release because just like with Fallout 3, I tried to like Gears of War. I tried playing it, over and over again, I tried to like this game. I don't. I don't like Gears of War, and I don't like anything from the Gears of War franchise. Now, albeit my brothers Dustin and Justin, they are, just like they're Halo fanatics, they love the Gears of War franchise. Why? I don't know. I can't get into their head. You know, sometimes I wonder if I ever got into their head, I wouldn't hear this inside their ears.
Thomas Jefferson, sucker!
But anyway, with that being said, for those of you who are fans of Gears of War, I'm pretty sure all the local video game retailers out there, and especially GameStop, you know, they're very big on doing midnight releases. I attended one midnight release last year. It was for the new Halo game. Sonic, now, have you ever attended a midnight release for a video game?
I have not, and I don't even know if my GameStop stays open that late, even for a midnight release, but I wouldn't know because I've never attended one.
But if you, now, with the upcoming releases we got coming out, if they did do a midnight release, what game would you go for and why?
Well,
like, say if they did a midnight release of Sonic Generations, would you go for that?
Probably not, because I already have it pre-ordered, and I have it pre-ordered for the DLC that comes with it.
But if we're speaking hypothetically.
Yeah, I'd probably go get it at midnight release.
Cool. Jordan, what about you? You know, with the upcoming releases, you know, if there's a game out there that you want to get and like a video game store or a GameStop did a midnight release, what game would you go for?
I've never been to one, but I would love to go to one and get one.
What game would you want to get, though? That's what I'm asking.
WWE 12.
Oh, wow. I got to imagine, you know, that's going to be a midnight release for that. I believe it's also been released next month, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the release date in front of me to tell me here, but anyway, I'm really hoping that if we still have a little bit of time left, and if you played the new game Dead Island, rather, I apologize. If you played Dead Island, give us a call and tell us what you think about it. 914-803-4615. That is 914-803-4615. Give us a call and give us some insight into the Dead Island game, and you know, tell us what it's like and what you like about it, and you know, if you would recommend it to another person. Because, you know, me personally, I've only seen commercials and I've seen videos on YouTube when it comes to Dead Island, and the game looks absolutely phenomenal. Sonic, when I look at some of the videos on YouTube, one of the things that gets me is, one of the things that really has drawn me into this game, because, you know, one, we already know it's a zombie game, but it's an open world game. It's an open world game, and the way you can level up by, you know, with the amount of kills and how flashy they are, and if we'll come to a point where your weapons will break, from what I saw, but with enough cash and enough experience points, you can actually build and upgrade your weapons, and for some reason that sounds an awful lot like Dead Rising 2.
It does. It seems like, you know, Dead Rising meets
Fallout 3, maybe.
I'm thinking Left 4 Dead, because I've seen the review on Wikipedia, and though you can never really trust anything you see on Wikipedia, it looks like it's a four-person game, like a four-person co-op game, which is what I keep forgetting the name of that damn series, Left 4 Dead. That's what Left 4 Dead did. It was a four-person co-op.
And, you know, and Valve really hit it on the head. Now, here is my wishful thinking for the week, guys and gals. And I don't know if this will be a reoccurring thing, But this is what my wishful thought was. And I'm going to give you guys, if you guys have a wishful thought for a new game to come out, I'm going to let you guys do yours as well. But my wishful thought for this week for a video game is for Valve to release some more DLC for Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2, or maybe come out with another installment of the series that entails, the rest of the survivors. Are there any more survivors in the world of Left 4 Dead who are fighting the hordes of the undead? And, quite possibly, could they think up of any more, special infection? They have the tank, the spitter, the juggernaut, the jockey, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, the jockey that's the dude that laughs like he's on crack, and two, he decides to take his tiny dick and jump up and fuck you right in the head. So, with that being said, I would really like to see another installment in this franchise because, like I said, Sonic, Valve really hit a really good game with Left 4 Dead. I'm taking you have a different opinion.
No, I'm distracted. I apologize.
But what are your thoughts about? What my wishful thought is to have another installment to the Left 4 Dead franchise.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the best series that have been released. It's an Xbox exclusive game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Yes, it's one of the best games that's come out for the Xbox, and for me, it's the best Xbox game that I've played. No offense to Halo fans, but in my personal opinion, I think Halo's overrated. But I definitely would play another Left 4 Dead game if the chance would come out.
All right. Now, what would be your wishful thought for a game to come out? Then, like you said. Like I said, I'm wishing for another Left 4 Dead game. What about you, Sonic? If you could wish for another game or another installment to a game, what would it be? I know you're definitely looking forward to Sonic Generations, but is there something else you would really like to see?
Well, I'm currently playing NHL Slapshot, which gives you the liberty of using an actual stick for, on the Wii. I would like to see them expand on that if possible. I mean, it works really well, and the physics. I'm telling you, it works pretty well. If you haven't played it and you have a Wii, I really definitely recommend it. Of course, if you're a fan of hockey, which I am.
Yeah, you have to actually be an actual fan of the sport to actually want to play the video game. That's why I love playing football games, but I hate baseball. But anyway, WWE fan, what about you, Jordan? Is there a certain game that you would like to see come out? I know you really want to get your hands on WWE 12. I do too. But is there something else? Is there a game you would like to see come out?
Well, I heard there's going to be making a new NASCAR game.
A new NASCAR game?
Yeah, and the only changes I would like to make on it is when you go through a race, it's sometimes you go through the night at a racetrack, and I would like it to go from day to night through the race. But,
Now, before we get to the ultimate question of the week here on GameUp, I want to remind everybody a quick programming note. This Wednesday night, September 21st, 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on the WGS Radio Network for WrestleDown, the discussion of Wrestling Now. Our special guest will be former AWA and WCW announcer Lee Marshall. He will be on WrestleDown taking your calls and answering your questions about the great history of AWA. He's worked with a lot of great people, guys. Larry the Axe Hennig, Kurt Hennig, Larry Zbyszko, Nick Bockwinkel. The list goes on and on and on. Vern Gagne, Greg Gagne. It goes on. But he's also in WCW. he did a lot of what's called the Road Report, and what I loved a lot about that, guys and gals, was the endless supply of Bobby the Weasel Heenan jokes he would supply every week he was on. So it's going to be really good to have him on the show. So be sure you look forward to that this Wednesday night, September 21st, 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio. And speaking of someone who's a little tardy to the party here as we're getting set to finish everything up here on this week's Game Up, it is James. James, how you doing this week? One, you better not be calling from a video game convention, because I'll shut you down and kill you if you're calling from another convention.
I am calling from home. I am not at a convention.
Well, James,
I have no other conventions, so yeah.
Thank God. Anyway, one of the things we just got to talk about, we kind of had a new thing coming up, man, like a wishful thought of the week here on Game Up. Is there a certain kind of a game or another installment to a franchise that you really like to see come out with another game?
Oh, I haven't seen one yet of a game that should have a sequel, but I just haven't.
This is just wishful thinking. We're not confirming or starting any rumors. We're just, if there's a game where.
I know, I understand, but just in my head right now, I'm not thinking of anything right now. Of like what I really wish that could happen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to ask the ultimate question. What games are you in the middle of right now? Oh, yes. Gotta have the classic video game arcade sounds. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember it, but back in the 80s and early 90s, the video game arcade were a huge success during that time. So I'm going to go to Sonic Fanatic first. Sonic, what game are you in the middle of right now?
Well, as I said, I was playing NHL Slapshot not too long ago. And I actually dipped back into my gaming vault that doesn't exist. And I pulled out my Sega Dreamcast and started playing NFL 2K1 and NFL 2K. Also, I'm playing a lot of games this week. I just finished 2 quote-unquote Sonic games that I haven't beaten before. First off, I beat the entire story mode of Sonic and the Secret Rings, which was the first installment of the Storybook series, which I thought was pretty interesting. And for my emulator, I just beat Knuckles Chaotix, which was a spin-off game featuring Knuckles the Echidna. Anything else? I've been on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Network quite a bit. I don't know if you want to consider that a game, but
it is.
I've been doing that too. Okay, yeah, I've been doing that too.
All right, James, what games are you in the middle of right now?
4 games. Number 1, the Dueling Network. Number 2, Madden, and Madden 12, the new one.
Yeah.
And I said, dang, that's a good game too, especially how the graphics are more realistic now. Number 3,
really?
Number 3 is the NCAA 12 game, and number 4 is Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi?
Yeah, it was an old game on the Dreamcast, but I got it for the Xbox now.
That game on the Dreamcast that I never got. Maybe if I find like a retro store, I can find it and play it.
Yeah.
Jordan, what about you? What game are you in the middle of right now?
Okay, that would be SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 and NASCAR 2011 on the Xbox 360.
You're on 2011 now? I thought you only had 2010. Talking about SmackDown vs. Raw.
Yeah, maybe it's 11. I'm not sure.
Well, yours truly has been in the middle of, yes, I'm not ashamed to say it because it actually got me hooked on it, Bejeweled Blitz. And right now my current high score on that game is 255,000.
I love it.
I haven't played that in so long. I should play that again.
Yep, I'm playing it all the time, guys. So it's a little addicting, but it's worth playing. So with that being said, that sadly brings us to the end of Game Up here on the WGS Radio Network. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me this week. I'd like to thank James, who called in. Even though he's a little tardy to the party, always welcome. I always thank you for calling in. From Rorschach Media, guys, be sure you check out Sonic Fanatic. Sonic, where can they check out Rorschach Media again?
They can check our website out at www.aurorashockmedia.weebly.com, or they can look us up on YouTube, youtube.com/Rorschach Media, I believe it is.
And Jordan, thank you very much. Even though I keep telling you every time you come to Game Up, you got to bring a plate of cookies. And you haven't brought them cookies yet.
And, by the way, my YouTube channel is 21 Jordan Fan if anyone wants to check me out.
Oh, awesome, dude. Awesome. So, on that note, I'm Billy Boudreaux saying, worship the ground Chuck Norris walks on. Oh, he will roundhouse kick you in the face. Good night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hottest place on the internet for wrestling and video games is, of course, WGS Radio. We got it all. News, reviews, interviews with some of the biggest stars in wrestling today, and yes, even... Oh my God! The leader of Team Gooch himself, McDirty said. That's every Wednesday and Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. And of course, for pay-per-views, 2 hours before every pay-per-view for wrestling. www.blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio. We'll see you there.
Game Up on WGS Radio Network has been presented by www.thewrestlinggamershow.com. And if I offended any of you Halo fans, Gears of War fans, or Fallout 3 fans, well, I just got two things to say to you. One of them being...
Sweet cream on an ice cream sandwich! What in the blue hell are you doing?
And if you're still angry with me, then I just got a big rousing fuck you. Good night, everybody.